well, I have the white claw,
Ooh, yeah, like the bird.
Right, like the bird of the claw. And there are 3 white men as the main characters.
True.
Nice.
So they're looking for birds with claws. So
what the fuck?
White claw.
I've literally never heard of this movie. Like when we get into this, I can't wait.
Oh, did I ruin it?
Yeah.
No fucking idea.
Oh, did you ruin a movie by saying it stars 3 white men?
Yeah.
Not really.
What's that movie? Is it a hit? Don't ask her like she'll say, I haven't seen it.
Welcome to the Haven't Seen It podcast. This is a podcast where we bring people on the show and we get them really drunk and they tell me about a movie that I've never seen before. I'm Alenka Zach.
And I'm Jack Black.
You liar.
No.
I honestly wish though. Oh my God. Will, have you contacted Jack Black yet?
Okay, I've DM'd once or twice, maybe twice on Instagram. No response yet. I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to be the squeaky wheel. It's already June though, and his birthday is in August, and Jack Black month is coming up. So,
real quick, does anybody know? Before we talk about this, one, my cat's freaking out, but 2, what is August sign wise? What's his sun sign, baby? Is that a Leo?
Oh,
I'm a Gemini.
Jack
What are you?
Black's sign.
Damn, I don't know.
Before we introduce our guest, can we ask her what her sign is?
I'm
Just
a
leave
Scorpio
her
in
in
October,
awkward-
so what? Yeah, whatever's before that.
Let this
August?
stupid
I don't
ass
know.
kid in.
We need to do research.
He's
I know,
August
I'm
28th. August 28th zodiac. Okay, what is it?
Hurry.
Virgo.
Hurry.
He's a Virgo. He's a Virgo.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting. I know nothing about the signs except for my own classic Gemini.
Yeah. Well, we're hearing her voice right now, but we have today on the show the host of the Ongoing Comic Book Discussion Podcast. She's back. She's back on there. She's back on our show. Yeah. Tess Llanos, welcome back.
Hey, thanks for having me back, guys. So glad to be back.
Yeah. And I want to say I have a lot of admiration for you. You posted, why you took a break from the podcast and the fact that you know yourself enough to be able to take a break and know that, you were going back to work and you were just going to need some space. I would never do that because I just seem to work myself to death. So, that's a problem that I need to figure out.
What's your sign,
Will? I admire
Will?
you for doing it. I'm a Cancer.
I don't know.
I
That
care.
sounds
Well, I appreciate you saying so. It was a very hard decision because there was a lot of momentum going on with the podcast, but I knew that I was puttering out creative wise and it just wouldn't be a good idea. So yeah, I took 4 months off. It was supposed to be, I don't know, I thought it was going to be forever. And then I started missing you jerks and all right, I'll go talk to my friends again.
Yeah. Well, back on the Brain Freeze family.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, what movie are we talking about today, Tess?
The Big Year.
The Big Year.
Yes, The Big Year.
No.
It was a big year.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
2011. It was.
2011. How old was everybody that year?
Oh,
What's that? That's 10
need to
years ago.
figure
And
this out. I was 18,
I was
baby.
19.
Oh, nice.
I am turning the
Cool
big
19.
30. I'm gonna have a big year
What the
this
fuck?
this summer. Oh yeah.
I didn't realize that shit.
Oh,
Damn.
Yeah.
Dirty 30, baby.
Damn,
I know.
baby. Nice. I was a cool
exciting.
21 then.
Ooh.
Oof. I was all cool because, when you're 21, people are like, I'm
You
so
become
cool now.
sick. Yeah. You're like, I'm an
Yeah,
adult.
I guess in the States, because you're like, I can drink now.
Yeah. Wait, what do you mean the States? What are y'all's drinking age?
19
Wow.
over here. Oh yeah.
Unless you're in
Hey, we're all the
Montreal.
drinking age.
Yeah, 18 in Quebec. So
Whoa.
if you lived near the border, like where I lived, then you just drive across the border and get drunk when you're 18.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow. That's cool.
Or
Yeah.
if you're raised Catholic like me, you wait until you're 19. And even then, still, you're pretty terrified of the whole sinning. I'm just kidding. I
but
drank
didn't you
and
have
then
like
vomited on
communion
somebody.
wine or some shit?
No, no, just soggy bread.
Wafers, yeah.
Yeah,
Wafers.
Yeah, well,
Nice.
I introduced myself as Jack Black because obviously Jack Black is one of the
It's a JB
stars of this
movie.
film.
Wait, you're not
Yeah.
Jack Black?
No,
I-
I guess I should clarify. I am not Jack
Oh.
Black. Jack Black. You know what?
Oh.
I'm going to do this right now. I'm going to say Jack Black is going to be on this show.
Yes, he fucking
Not going
is.
to say this year,
Come
Right.
on,
but I'm going to
universe.
give myself that goal. You know, I'm going to do it.
Yes,
I'm gonna
Yes.
meditate on
please do.
this.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, manifest that shit. Yes.
I think we have to get through maybe like 2 or 3 Jack Black months, like so 2 or 3 years of doing Jack Black months, and then maybe he'll notice. He'll take notice.
What?
Maybe.
Yeah, he totally would. That's something he would totally notice.
I know.
Do you guys watch his YouTube channel?
Yeah, I've seen a few.
That's
of those
what we're
videos.
saying.
He's all in
He's-
that. Yeah.
He wants to be on our show. He just doesn't know
Yeah.
about our show yet.
Yeah. If anyone out there knows him, just point him in this direction.
Mhm.
Point him
Yes.
to, point him to our the holiday episode with Tess, and
Yep.
point him
Right.
to this episode with
Yep.
Tess, and then we'll
Right.
have Tess, Jack Black, and us on Jack Black month.
I can't
Yeah,
wait.
Me either.
I'm putting it
I'm
in
gonna
my
probably poop my
manifesto calendar.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
why did you pick the big year? We kind of know why,
I've
but
literally
we-
never heard of this.
I picked it because you guys said no to Tenacious D. So
Sorry. Seen it.
it's fine. I want like the tradition to be when I visit you guys, we do a Jack Black film.
Mm.
Yeah,
So I was
yeah.
like, hey, but how about the big year? And Will was like, yeah, that's a great movie. So we're here. We're doing it.
Yeah. It is. And I said that having not even watched it, but heard of it and thought that would be a really interesting
You're a
one.
piece of trash.
And now that I've watched it, I'm like, I am. This is this is a wonderful movie. I was
It
like,
is.
wow.
Yeah.
I can't believe I haven't seen
Mm.
it. It's just, it's so heartwarming.
Mm.
It is so heartwarming. And like, it's funny because the two movies that we've reviewed here, we will review when you people are listening to it, we will have reviewed. Hang on. No, it's Jack Black when he's being really dramatic and he's not being crazy. And he's got this little like this little
Mhm.
Jack Black grin. He's just like, hey, I'm Jack Black. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he holds in his wildness. Like,
Yeah, he has like one moment, but it's actually like dramatic. Like it's more like he's angry,
yeah.
but he's not being that. He sounds like Jack Black, but in a
Yeah.
dramatic way.
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love
dramatic
it.
Black. Yeah,
Cool.
Ooh, dramatic.
Nice.
Dramatic Black.
That was good.
yeah, dramatic.
That was
Black.
good.
Yeah,
Dramatic Black. Yes. I love it.
Yeah,
This will be interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any idea what it's about at all, Lincoln?
Yeah.
No,
what
I'm
do
going to
you think this is
speculate so
about?
hard. Oh, my turn? Okay.
Oh, big time! It is your turn. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
it's your
these
turn.
are the facts that I've heard. 3 white men observing birds. The title says The Big Year. Okay. Here's what we're going to do.
Mm.
Jack Black gets diagnosed with cancer. And he's like,
That is dramatic Black.
Dramatic Black. You're not wrong.
Gotta hashtag
And
that
he's
shit, man.
like, I have been working away at this stupid corporate job for like freaking 15 years. And I love bird watching. So I'm going to get me, my buddy Ron, and my friend Larry, and we're going to go to South Africa and we're going to find this bird
Wait,
that's
is that
on the
blue collar
extinction list.
comedy tour you're listing off there?
I don't know. Sure.
All right.
And so they go. He's like, I don't have a lot longer to live. I have a huge passion for bird observation, observing. And
Technical term.
I love, thank you. I love this one bird that's going to be extinct soon. And if I don't see it before I die, it's going to die before me, you know? So they go on this big mish and they do soul searching. And then guess what, baby? They see the bird.
What? Tell me.
Life is chill. He sings a song while dancing
Ooh,
with
the bird or Jack
something.
Black?
Obviously Jack Black. Like, come on.
Right. Okay.
And then his doctor calls and he's like, guess what, bro? You're fine. And then he's like, sick. Now I know how to experience life and I will take this into my life moving forward because don't waste a minute. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
No big deal.
Yeah.
That's the big year.
I'm impressed.
Yeah. This is definitely like if the big year mashed with last holiday, which we previously did.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's very dramatic. You went there. Like,
oh yeah.
I know.
a little too dramatic black, but like,
Yeah.
you know, you're on the right track.
Mm-hmm. You're on the right track, Black.
Thank you. I was just going to say that.
Okay. Did I get what? So are there details that I got correct? And I apologize. My cat is actually losing her shit. If you can hear her.
I can hear her. Yeah, I can hear her. Yeah. Is that cat Black?
Yeah, it's cat black. Cat white, though. She's white.
Well, actually, so you got a lot of you got some themes in there, especially like working a corporate job for a long time. That's kind of a theme in there.
Guys,
Yeah.
You know,
I am
seizing
psychic.
life or seizing the life that you want, sort of
Damn,
thing.
go me.
That's definitely
Go
part
me.
of it. And bird watching,
Go us.
obviously.
Obviously.
Well, yeah, that was
Yeah.
given to me.
Yeah, you got the gist.
Yeah.
Pretty
Hell
much
yeah.
correct.
Though.
Yeah.
Look
You
it up.
Yeah.
are a Hollywood screenwriter.
I know.
Did you write this movie?
Yes. Little known fact.
Yeah, well,
I'm not credited though
speaking
for
of
some weird
birds,
reason.
No, you're not. No.
That's so weird. I didn't see
I
your
know.
name. No.
I know.
Well, speaking of birds, today I decided to make the drink kind of a choose your own. It's make a cocktail that best exemplifies the essence of your favorite bird.
Right.
So, Alenka, what did you make?
Oh, okay.
You made 2 drinks, I believe.
Yeah, I did. And I'm not going to lie. The second drink is conveniently the first drink just mixed together, but it works. So the first drink, I sent a picture to Will. Basically, it gradiates from pink into blue, and it's to resemble a parrot because parrots are sick.
Oh.
Cats drive me bonks, sorry. And then you mix that shit together and you get pink. And pink is for flamingo, baby. And I was actually going to try to pass off the pink into blue as also for flamingo because little known fact, maybe big known fact, there's a huge online debate about whether or not blue flamingos exist. And after some very brief research, they don't.
Wow.
Case
closed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
But there has
Right
been
on.
one.
That was
There's been
you had us
two
on the edge of our
sightings.
seats there.
I know. There has, however, fun fact, you guys, been 2 sightings of a black flamingo, and that exists, and they've seen it only twice. And they believed it to be the same flamingo. Sorry, God, you guys both look like eyes glazed over. You're just like, okay.
Just like, you're like, fun fact, flamingos are not blue. You could do that with anything.
Well, if honestly, Google
Yeah.
fucking flamingo, and I'm sure, like, do blue flamingos exist? Will pop right up. So, fuck yeah.
All right. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, it's all good. Yeah.
It's
Google.
fine.
Yeah.
Okay, what are your dumb birds?
All right. Well, I'll go mine, and then Tess, you can go last.
Okay.
I made 2 drinks as well because I couldn't decide. But my first drink is blue. It's got basically a blue pop, like blue pop shop pop,
Nice.
with some vodka in there.
Ooh.
And I splashed a little bit of grenadine to try to make it darker, and then it turned purple. But it's
Yeah.
supposed to be a Blue Jay.
You need to learn your color
Because I'm
theory.
repping the Toronto Blue Jays. Yeah,
Mhm.
repping
Oh, nice.
the Toronto Blue Jays, the Toronto
Yeah.
baseball team in
Love.
Canada. And then the second one is kind of an orangish brown.
It looks
I got
cute.
some orange pop in there with a little bit of grenadine
That's
and
what it
rum.
is.
And that is a
Ooh, it's a
Robin.
lot of rum.
Ooh, you're mixing your drinks, bruh.
Oh yeah, and yeah,
Living on the
Robin-
edge.
And Robin is because Robin is my partner's middle name,
Right.
slash
Aw.
I
potential
know. Isn't
future
Will
children's names.
disgustingly
Aw.
cute? Like, don't you just hate how
Yeah.
cute they are? It makes me sick.
Hate it.
I know.
Ew. No,
Ew, stop
that's
being so
adorable.
It's
fucking
disgusting.
cute.
Yeah, it is.
Honestly,
yeah.
Will and Sam are the most relationship goals you could possibly ever think
Yeah.
of. And
We're thinking about
Aw.
starting
shout
a
out to
Grey's
them.
Anatomy podcast. So
Oh, that'll go on for 20 seasons.
Exactly. We have so much content to work with.
You'll be like old when you're done with it. You'll be like,
That'll be so cute.
Your kids will be running the podcast.
I know. It's called Thatcher Stands Only. That's an inside joke for
I don't get it.
Grey's Anatomy fans. All
Damn,
right.
I'm not
But
inside.
I'm sure.
Sorry.
Yeah. Just like,
I want to get it.
I'm telling you, everyone listening who's Grey's Anatomy fan is fucking on the floor right now.
They're laughing. They had to pull their cars over.
yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone with cars.
Pleb.
I know. And Tess, what did you create for us?
Mine is exquisite, I will say.
I'm ready.
So I have shared this with you guys, but I have not revealed it to the world. It's a big deal. It is the White Claw.
Yes.
Yes.
Accent.
One, because there are 3 white men as the starring roles, and the men are looking for birds with claws. So
What
it's a
fucking
literal
bird?
translation
Ooh.
of the movie White Claw, right? But the
Yes.
flavor is blackberry, like Jack Blackberry.
Jack Blackberry.
Ooh,
Oh,
yep.
yes.
Nicely done.
You know what? Fun fact, but also a conspiracy theory. Canada got White Claw in March of 2020.
Okay.
Whoa.
I'm thinking White Claw was the cause. COVID in Canada.
No.
Have you had a White Claw yet?
I have
I
many
have.
times
They're
this last summer.
I mean,
Yeah, last summer.
I don't know.
Summer drink.
oh yeah.
Isn't it just vodka soda, right?
It's just sewed, man.
Yeah, it's just
Pretty
alcohol
much.
soda. I don't even think there's a specific alcohol in it.
Right. All right.
Yeah, I don't even know. It's
Cool.
just the sparkling water with
It's
a
just
hint
rubbing
of black.
alcohol. Yeah.
Sparkling water.
I'm really clean. That's how I got rid of it.
Yeah,
Rid of the
yeah.
Corones
Yeah.
because
Yes.
of the White
White Claw.
Clawsians.
I'm gonna have to start
Yes.
buying them. Damn.
Yeah.
Well, I did tell you that there's also a little bonus, for this movie.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm stressed.
If you want, grab whatever liquor you have, whatever you want to shoot. I've got some ouzo, the last of the ouzo from our Big Fat Greek Wedding episode that I'm going to swig until it's over. We're going to drink. And again, if I can remember, but anytime someone comes on screen with a fedora on.
No way.
Oh, so okay.
There is actually a weird number of scenes where people are wearing fedoras, and more than one time my character wears 2 different fedoras, and I'm kind of like, what's with the fedora?
At the same time? Like
Yeah.
2? Nice.
No,
Wait.
but just like he has one fedora in one scene, and then another scene he's a totally different fedora
Different
on,
one.
and you're like,
He's a hat guy.
sorry, not a fedora, a trilby, I guess technically, but
Okay.
What's
the
a
fedora.
trilby? Is it like
don't
The
engage?
trilby is what everyone in grade 9 to 11 wore.
Yeah.
Grade 8
Okay.
at school
They were
dances.
drama
That's
people.
what the trilby is. Yeah, drama
Oh,
people.
I wouldn't say
wore
everybody.
trilbies galore. Yeah.
Yikes.
whoa.
I thought
I'll
it was
look this
funny. I
up.
just noticed it a lot. So
That's a
I'm-
good. Well, I only know of
Oh.
one character. I guess I don't want to give it away yet.
No, not
but,
yet.
Not yet. But I
That
know
wears
he'd
them.
always put it on right when he's about to go out and do something. He's like, I'm going to fedora it up.
In the immortal words of Anthony Kiedis, give it away.
Yeah.
Me?
Give it away. Give it away. Give
Tess,
it
how
away
does this
now.
movie start?
Oh, let me break it down for you. All right, so we got the big year. It's coming on screen, you guys, and some bird sounds. They're coming on. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You're like, is this National Geographic? No, it's a Jack Black movie. Stupid. So we are not watching National Geographic. We're watching Jack Black movie. Then I'm looking at my notes because I watched this a while ago. Big year history. They talk about it, and they. Oh wait, wasn't it Jack Black comes on the screen? He's like, "Let me have somebody tell you about this movie," and he's an English guy, and the
What?
English
Oh,
guy
yeah.
comes on screen, and
John,
like,
so it's narrated by John Cleese, the whole movie. And it's very much like
Okay.
as if he's narrating a nature documentary, but it's about these
Cute.
3 dudes. But
Oh, funny.
one of the first things you see actually on black screen on text is this movie is based on a true story.
Yes.
The only thing changed are the facts.
yeah, I'm curious what that means. Like, I mean, the big year is a real thing.
It is, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So they just made up the story, or was there a jerk guy? Oh, we've revealed another piece of the plot.
Oh, man.
The plot.
Please stop the plot.
Tess is already fucked.
She's got already. I think there's 2 claws in her by now, but
No, just one, my friends. I'm just happy to be here.
Well, we're essentially immediately kind of introduced to these 3 characters. The main. Okay. I mean, they're all main actually. That I actually love how equal everyone is in this movie in terms of screen time. But the first one is Brad, who is Jack Black's character, and he is a programmer in his mid-30s.
Yeah,
and he clearly how they introduce him is he's kind of like has headphones on and he goes to his desk and his like desk mate or his like office mate turns around and he's like, "Oh, what you rocking out to, bro?" And they takes his headphone on and gives it to him and it's just bird sounds.
No way.
And he's got birds posted up all over his office. He's just like this bird dude. Like if you were to walk past, you'd be like, "What is happening?"
Yeah.
Why do you have the January calendar for bird? Like he's like, you know what I mean? He's got like bird calendar. He's got bird shit everywhere.
Oh,
Except not actual bird shit, just bird shit. But not bird shit.
Yeah. So yeah, he's one of 3, and it's called They're called birders, not bird observers, birders.
Okay, my bad. My bad.
The colloquial term.
No, it's not good.
Yeah. And then the next character, played by Steve Martin, is Stu, who is like the CEO of this big company in New York. He like started from the ground up, and he's kind of been trying to retire, but every year he like doesn't because he's almost afraid of retiring, sort of thing. It's kind of like a running joke with his employees that he'll never retire. Just every year he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to retire," and then he doesn't.
And they're like,
but this year he is.
Yeah, and that's like the running gag is there's like these 2 guys who are comedians, and I've seen them in tons of stuff. I don't know their names.
Kevin Pollak and Joel McHale from Community. Yeah.
Okay.
They're like, you must help us. We don't know what to do. We must lean on you for everything. And he's like, listen, I got to go out and do my thing in my life. You gotta leave me alone. Go fly away. You know.
Yeah. And they're always just like freaking birds because he's like, I'm gonna do it. I gotta go look at the birds for a year.
Cute.
And they're just like friggin' birds.
It's weird, but yeah.
And then who's our third guy?
Our third is actually the reigning, he holds the record for the big year, which we'll explain.
Observed? What the fuck?
But he's like the champion bird observer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, John Cleese sort of explains it off the top of the movie, but I'll just introduce it's Kenny. His name's Kenny Bostick, because they really refer to him as Bostick most of the time. And that's played by Owen Wilson. And he's, cocky. He's on his 3rd marriage that we find out is generally due to the fact that he's too busy looking at birds.
I didn't know it was his 3rd marriage. That makes sense. It's his 3rd marriage,
yeah. Because there's a real joke where his wife, played by Rosamund Pike, is like, didn't you break up with, what's her face? Because
that's right.
Siri's like, no, that was Stephanie.
Oh no.
Yeah. So, and he goes on to explain. Yeah. And you could tell right away there's a tension between them, and you're like, ooh, what's this gonna be?
Yeah.
Well, Tess, what is the big year? What is it?
So the big year is basically you go out and you explore. I don't know if it was just the U.S. or if it's the world, but I think it's just the U.S. because they stay in the U.S. for this movie here.
North America, because there's one scene in Canada, but we'll get to
that. Hey, Canada makes a guest appearance. So you have to go out and you have to you have to see as many birds as you can. Now, here's the thing about this is that it's based on the honor system. So every time you see a bird, you have to be like, okay, that's number 270. Or then you see another bird, it's like, oh, that's 271. And you could take pictures or whatever, but you don't have to show proof that
you just say you do birds. It. Yeah.
Who like, how is this quantified? Like, that was good. Who does this? Who like...
People that want, anybody can do it. Anybody can. But I don't know if you have to sign up.
Keeping record.
The movie would have us. No one. But the movie would have us believe that like a lot of people are into this and they're crazy about it.
So this is just like a bird observer thing.
Second claw.
Yeah. Well, second claw. Yeah. Going in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's cool though because they kind of act like a flock of birds flocking to see these birds, and they kind of run into the same people. And what you see throughout this is that there will be like storms that'll happen, and they'll be like, "There's a giant ass storm," which people are usually running away from. For some reason, birds love this shit, and so
interesting.
Right? I didn't really understand that. I'm like,
I didn't know that.
I would fly away as a bird, but they like
birds are like
weather.
free bath.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And so Kenny, he's the reigning champ. He holds the current big year record of 732 birds, apparently. Like that's how many birds he's seen. 732. Yeah.
Shut the
different
fuck
types of birds.
But
because
and all these people, they know they're birders, right? So they know these what these different types of birds are. Like, and they show it when Jack Black's got the birds in his ear because he's like, oh, hey, that's the blue jay, whatever bird. You know, he knows like they're twaddled tweedles.
Well, that's his skill. That's like he's like, out of the three, he's the only one who can actually really identify birds by their sound, like so intuitively. So you know, he can identify like any bird by its tweet or twat. That's why he like. I said twat. I meant by its tweet. It's a tweet or twat.
Tweedle twaddle.
That's why he listens to bird sounds in his ears with his headphones.
That's fucking
cool.
But
we kind of get we kind of see his life, and he gets a call from his ex-wife. He's divorced. And his ex-wife is like, I didn't want you to hear it from anyone else, just from me. But, you know, I'm getting married again with, you know, this dude. And he's like, oh, great. And then he tells his wife, well, yeah, you know, he's like, well, yeah, I'm happy for you. Well, what do you have going on this year? And he goes, I think I'm going to do the big year. And she's like, oh, yeah. What's that again? Like, she's like, oh, great.
And the ongoing thing is that, like, if you're not a birder, everybody thinks you're crazy for doing the big year.
Yeah.
They make fun of you.
Sense.
Like, and then like this rolls into Jack Black at the table with his parents, and his mom is super supportive, and she's like, I'm going to work again. I'm going to be his travel agent. Because you basically need a travel agent for this bird thing, because you got to go everywhere and you got to know where you're going.
Yeah. And he has like, he's saved up like a bunch of money. I mean, he's a programmer. I thought he'd make quite a bit of money. And because his dad, played by Brian Dennehy, the awesome Brian Dennehy, he's all like, it's like, oh, you got divorced, you quit your like job with Dell, but he has still has a programming job somewhere. I don't know. This seems like he's doing all right for himself. It's not like he's on unemployment or something, but even that's not a bad thing. Like, you can do whatever, but like,
it's just not good enough for his dad.
Yeah.
Right.
But his dad clearly does not understand the bird obsession. And this is where we get that Jack Black moment where he screams at his dad in that Jack Black kind of like voice that he does, but it's like, it's Dramatic Black. It's real. It's
We're
real.
hashtagging that shit.
He is really serious about this movie. He doesn't have a lot of like those Jack Blackisms.
No, he does it. That's what I'm saying. He's got that little sly smile. He keeps it in. He's like,
sly smile. He's like, I know what
sly
I'm doing.
smile.
Oh, yeah. And he goes to his boss, and his boss just like also doesn't understand. And he's just like, and you get paid for this? Like, if you reckon, he's like, oh, the bird seed contracts are pretty hefty. And that's a joke. But
that's a Jack Black joke.
This is so interesting to me, this world, this bird watching
But they
world.
jump into it like pretty much right away, because it's such it's a whole year they have to get through because they see so many birds.
Yeah.
This is
and like and Steve Martin's wife is like super supportive, and they're like rich, and he's like, she's going to conferences in Paris, and
hold on, pause.
Obviously he can. Yep.
Is it that we're following each three's independent story, or are they going all together?
Good question.
It's independent, but they end up merging and
got you
different times because as we also find out, as much as it's a huge thing, it's also a very small niche community. So you see, it's fun. It's cool because like they're flying all over the place, but you'll see the same, just even like little side characters. Some people who might have one or two lines, but then you'll see them, they're on the other side of North America, like on the previous scene. They're just all part of this like birder community that travels on the whim, because this is another weird thing. I guess there's like a phone line that they call, and it's like an automated voice or something that says, there was a white-tailed pigeon spotted in the Nevada Valley.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they'll call and they'll be like, all right, gotta go. And they'll just drop whatever they're doing and run like it's an emergency. Like it's fully a competition the entire year. Like if there's going to be a bird anywhere, they just drop everything and go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Do they start like January type thing? Like when?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
January
this movie
to the new
begins,
year.
I think this movie begins just before or just after the new year, and that's when they're all
Okay.
deciding they're doing the big year. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm on for this, and it starts at the beginning of January. The last time I was on, it was at Christmas. So we're just following Jack Black's timeline.
Oh yeah.
Hell
it's
yeah,
all in the same
baby.
universe.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Like he immediately broke up with Kate Winslet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's like, I
immediately
love
came back.
birds now.
Gotta do the birds.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
about birds, baby.
That's who was on the phone. They were married.
Yeah.
Wait, they got married for a month, and then that was it.
Exactly.
He's got
Yeah.
Bye.
Crazy. Yeah.
G2G.
Gotta go. Look at birds.
Look at birds, man.
Yeah. So I think the first meeting of all three of them is I think it's in Maine, or they
It's
go
just such a weird concept.
they go on this boat, and there's a woman, I think is it Angelica Huston or Houston?
Yeah, Houston. Yeah, Angelica
Yeah.
Houston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like she runs this boat in which they go on
She's
the
so
like
good in this.
I think they go in the ocean, right? The Maine, and they go into the Atlantic
yeah,
or Pacific.
they go
Atlantic,
into the
yeah.
ocean to find certain birds. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Mhm.
So all these birders are on board, but this is the appearance of the first fedora.
Okay.
Because they're all waiting for the
shit.
boat. And then we see Kenny, and Kenny's like a superstar, but also this woman hates Owen
Okay.
Wilson's
Yeah,
character,
yeah,
because
yeah.
they
Pompous.
reveal that, last year or a previous year, he like started a mutiny on the ship because he wanted like see some whales or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they do like a little flashback, and we come back. We're like, oh man, that one's fucked up.
Where she like brandishes a knife on him.
Yeah.
What?
Like, oh, you're gonna cut me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But he's got like a yellow rain jacket on, like, about to go on a boat look, but then a little like techno color, multicolored fedora or trilby on.
He does.
Yeah.
You're right.
And I saw that and I was like, that is a look.
Yeah, it is.
That's a look.
But I was like, oh yeah, great. And then some more trilbies came into play later. I'm
You're
like, why are so many people wearing trilbies? It's
I need to
odd.
see that look.
It's a lot. It's 2011, man. I guess it was hot.
Yeah, it was a hot look.
Yeah.
Never.
It's
I don't think
like,
Jack
we're
Black ever
stylish.
comes on with a trilby.
No,
but
Thank
He
God,
knows.
because it would look so weird with him and his.
Yeah.
No
The shape.
shape.
Yeah, but he comes on and they're all getting on the boat. So Brad, Stu, and Kenny are there, but they don't know each other yet. But they're all going on this boat. And
Hold
there's actually
on. They
another-
don't know
yeah.
the main guy. They don't know.
Oh, they know Kenny. Like everyone
okay.
knows Kenny because
Yeah.
he's birder famous. Yeah,
Bird famous.
he's
Well,
actually
his
a contractor for his regular job. But
Yeah, for his
Okay.
real life job. He's like huge in the birder community, like huge, like major celebrity. And they always bring that up. And his whole thing is like, I can't let that go away. I can't let anybody else think that they're a better birder than me. So
Mhm.
already a recipe
And
for trouble.
a big
Ego,
thing
baby.
about all of this is that both Stu and Jack Black are keeping it hush hush that they're attempting a big year. They're not just birding
Okay.
for fun.
Uh-huh.
They're
Yeah.
trying to do a big year because they don't want anyone else to know, because the whole point is that if other people know that this person's doing a big year, it motivates the other person to go out there and, be more competitive.
Right.
So they're like, I'll secretly be doing a big year and maybe I can sneak up and take the record, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then Owen Wilson's character, he sees that Steve Martin's character is like about to lose it, like he's getting seasick. And he's like, hey, he goes over like a snake that he is. And he's like, I don't know. He starts saying words like chum something because they're chopping up like fish heads behind them. Because,
nice.
yeah, the
It
birds
feeds
go
the birds,
crazy
yeah.
for him. Yeah.
And he's like, he's like rolling and something else. It's like the
Yeah.
boat not
Why
rocking,
is he
but he says
doing
something
that?
else. He's just trying to make him like even more queasy until he
why?
throws up, so that he's not looking
He's
at
a
birds
jerk.
and he goes sits down, because he
What
is a
the
literal
fuck?
asshole.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah. Fuck that guy. For
Yeah.
real.
You do feel a bit of empathy later on, but even then, he's pretty.
Like
you know,
later
Fuck that
on, like
guy.
at the end.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, that's it.
yeah.
You're like,
Eh.
He's a
Tough.
cautionary tale.
yeah,
Okay.
don't be that guy.
Does he lose
Yeah.
his thumb?
Does he lose his thumb? Is that what
I
you
don't
said?
know. Just a suggestion.
I mean, geez, did you watch it? Because how did you know? No, he does not lose his thumb.
And then we also, on the ship, we actually have a little bit of a meet cute.
Yes.
Between Jack Black and Rashida Jones. She's in this movie as well. Yeah.
I love her
What
character.
does she do?
She's like this like hyper character who knows all the like bird sounds, and she'll just randomly be like, caca, caca.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Like,
hilarious.
just weird noises.
Yeah, she can like imitate birds really well.
Okay.
And that's her birder ability. It's like the Justice League
It is.
of birders, you know?
For sure.
You know,
For
Jack
sure.
Black, you know, he can hear every bird.
too
Rashida Jones can
funny.
imitate every bird. Kenny can, I don't know, find every bird.
There you
Yeah.
go. There you go. Yes.
And
See?
Stu is like the Batman because he's the rich one. He can
Right.
fly
He's
anywhere.
He's Bruce Wayne.
I like
Mhm.
with his
I like Batman, but I don't like Stu.
no.
Stu's a good dude.
No,
though.
Stu's good. Stu's
We
nice.
like Stu.
Okay.
Although it is part of that whole theme in movies where it's like, yes, we love the clearly mega multimillionaire CEO. He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
You know,
He's
they're not
actually
all
a nice
like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, then, so after he loses it into the ocean, after Jack Black meets Rashida Jones character, so I don't know their character names. Whoopsies.
That's fine.
Ellie.
Ellie. Then Jack Black is like, "Hey, Steve Martin, let's be friends." No, Steve Martin's
Okay.
sitting on the couch thing, and he's like, "Oh, I'm crazy," and he's like, "Hey, man, it's okay. I'm, birds, right? Crazy." And he's
Yeah.
like, let's kind of be, let's change numbers and, hang out just
Cool.
randomly, because we randomly like going to the same places for no reason. We don't know why, but we
Well,
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's a mystery.
And like,
Mhm.
so that's their first meeting where they kind of see almost everyone. Kenny and Brad don't really meet, but this is when, Brad and Stu meet.
Mm-hmm.
And then this movie is a lot of just like, they're here, they're there, where are they? And
Right.
then it's like, oh, this is now it's month, now it's March, now it's July.
It
now
moves
it's-
really quick.
Oh,
like
yeah,
all of a
super
sudden you're
fast.
like, birds over here, bah,
Yeah.
birds
And
over
they
here.
all have
bah.
their tallies. They all have their like tallies that they're seeing. And there's also a character who I never could have understood, because at first he was with Jack Black. He's actually Jack Black's first scene where he's looking at birds. Sorry, no, the first bird he sees is a seagull outside his office, and he counts it as
Okay.
one, and it's
Okay.
cute. But when he's
Cute.
looking at birds, like, on a full-time basis,
Yeah.
he's with actually Jim Parsons from The Big Bang Theory,
Huh.
who like
Oh, yes.
who writes a birder blog.
IchabodCranes.com.
Yeah, Ichabod Cranes.
So good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Wait, I
love
don't
that
get
part.
it.
Like
I mean-
Ichabod Crane from Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah.
We did
With
that movie,
birds?
Alinka.
I know. Birds.
Cranes,
Cranes?
yeah.
Like a crane?
I get it. And his name's
Ah.
Ichabod? Is his name Ichabod?
I think
no,
it's just a
it's
play on that
This
name.
is a stage name.
Darn.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Because it's like
Yes.
a detective, and he's like
Get
a
it, get it.
blogger who's really like trying to get the lay of the land of who's doing the big years and stuff.
Got
But he
it.
calls Jack Black in his blog like one of the best birders he knows or has seen.
Oh, cute.
Because of his acute sense of hearing. But I guess that this guy is also just around many times, because at one point he's also with Kenny separately. I
Yeah.
thought he was like Jack Black's
In
friend
Joshua
at
Tree?
first.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought they were friends, and then it was like he's like interviewing, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
You
just
don't
around.
have friends when you're on the watch.
True. Yeah.
It's true. There's this really cute moment that I wrote down because I wanted to point out where like Jack Black obviously actually loves birds. And so there's a scene where these two bald eagles in the air, and they show how they are kind of mating, not literally, but how they're like falling in love literally,
Mhm.
because they hold on to each other's claws, white claws.
Ah.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying, they're not white claws, they're orange. But they like
Orange.
hold on to each other, and then they like fall in the sky, and they're like,
Really?
oh, and he like tells this story behind it, and it's like plinky plonky music is playing, and it's like, and then you see the bald eagles and they're in the sky, and then they fall to the ground and they're so in love, and you're like, oh my god, Jack Black, you love birds.
Interesting.
It does. Yeah.
He
That's
loves his
neat.
birds. Yeah, it's
Super
sweet.
neat. Yeah. Yeah. And
I want to
there's
see that scene.
it's a great movie. Let's keep talking about it. But it's
Yeah, okay.
At various times we get interspliced with like they do have to go back home sometimes.
Really?
They're not just like constantly traveling.
Really?
So like, yeah, like Stu is always getting like phone calls, and then he's going to go to meetings with his two dumb shit employees who are like the friggin' birds, man. And this is like the most like business thing, like most business. I don't know what's happening in these scenes. I don't know what kind of business he runs. It's just business, merger.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Stocks and shit. Yeah, I don't know.
So like the company's going through like a merger or some shit, and they have to like negotiate. So, you know, Stu has to be there or help, you know, do that. Which I'm gonna drink because there's a scene where he gets out of like a limo and he's wearing a trilby. He's got his suit on and he's wearing a trilby.
I'm not gonna like it.
So I'll drink twice because I didn't drink when we introduced Owen Wilson's trilby.
I didn't either.
Oh my gosh.
I was elated because I was like, I'm gonna go off what Will does. This is the same vodka from the 50th, and I hate
the vodka from our live episode.
Okay.
I'm gonna be a lady and pour it into the glass.
Oh my
I'm not
god!
gonna do a full shot because I'm not
Room
crazy.
temp, unless someone replaced this with water, is delicious.
What is it?
Actually, it's just vodka. It's nothing special.
What?
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. This is actually not horrid.
Ooh, that's a fun shot glass. For those who can't see, it's bright green and yellow.
It's bright green and yellow. It's got Bigfoot. I don't have any bird shot glass.
Cute.
I do have a flamingo wine stopper. But I don't have
Cute.
Do you think they're people who look for Bigfoot are called Bigfooters, aren't they? Oh no, that's what I would call
What
them.
do they call people with big feet then?
Alenka.
Zing.
There you go.
Thanks, guys.
Man. You know what? I'm going to be honest. I didn't realize it until we were saying it out loud. It's kind of hard to tell this story because there are so many tiny little beats.
Well, let's go back to like their lives again. So yeah. Stu has to like go back with this merger stuff. And the whole idea is that, you know, his employees kind of talk about, you know, you don't want to retire because you know what happens after retirement. You die. And that's kind of a whole thing with Stu is that he's like, he feels like, maybe he didn't do all he wanted to do with his life. Like he built this business, but that's all he did. He didn't, you know, he didn't get the big year. You know, he feels like maybe he has a bit of regret before retiring and before possibly dying in the next 20 years or so.
Sure.
Dramatic.
So that's his like struggle. And then Kenny clearly has relationship issues because this is his third wife and that, you know, he divorced twice previously because of birding. And his wife is like renovating the house and doing like major changes that he's not super okay with.
Right.
And they do this little thing where I think it's his contracting company, right?
I think it's his competition.
Is it?
No way.
She gets his competition to work on his house.
up.
Is it? Yeah.
Something weird like that.
It's like this dude and his son.
Tess's cat in the background. It's making me giggle. But also, what the
he
fuck?
just got shaved too. He's naked. He's
He
30
looks
pounds.
cutie.
He's a
Oh,
giant
yeah.
cat.
Boy.
Wow.
What's up, Oscar? He's hanging out.
Sorry.
He says, hey.
But like, what the fuck? Would you like that? Just seems like, is she like hungry for his attention? She must be.
Just like as a wife would be, like she gets none. She gets nothing.
Yeah, she's
Just
doing
like-
injections because she wants to have a baby, and that's kind of the major thing in the beginning.
Doing
Is
injections
In her butt, like for
What does that mean?
fertility injection hormone.
Yeah.
I was like, butt injections? Weird.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was related
makes
to
Botox in the butt.
pregnancy.
You know,
Yeah.
Bum talks.
that's like it's
Butt
you know
talks.
to like
Butt talk.
I don't know.
seduce
actually.
the mate like animals. You know, you just like
For
do
real?
a little dance. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, like the bird.
Don't
She's
fucking
trying to be
do
a
that,
bird.
you asshole. I have no knowledge of anything. I believe
I
you.
know.
But here's the thing
wholeheartedly.
about her is that I was like, you know what? If anybody were to explain her character, they would think she was being a bitch because
Oh, totally.
she's-
But
No,
But
but my
she's
first
not.
instinct
No.
was just like so thirsty for her husband's attention.
yeah,
right,
That which
Yeah.
like
and other stuff
Fair.
because she wants a baby.
right.
right.
Like
Thirsty
desperately.
for-
She's very
well,
much like, I want a baby. When are we having a baby? You can't go birding all the time. And it's just, he's just so covetous of his fucking record that he can't let.
It makes you
He has to
wonder like
bird
what
every
were they
year.
like when they
Yeah.
were dating? That like, why is this such a surprise now that you're married? How did he hide it so well?
I mean, this is one of those
question.
movies that doesn't go into that.
No, I know.
You just kind of
we're here for the
assume.
Yeah.
big questions,
Thanks.
big gear, big cues.
Yeah.
Big cues. Yeah.
So that's kind of his struggle. And then, there's this kind of like father contractor company, and he has a son who's like this young, good looking dude. And they do make a little bit of a like, is the wife gonna get with that son? We'll get to that later though.
Oh, okay.
And then, Stu has the whole thing, but also Stu's son. Is it his son or his daughter? It's his son. Yeah.
It's his son. His son's gonna have a baby.
His son's gonna have a baby. Yeah.
Okay.
And so his son has a baby in like May. So Stu has a grandchild. This is kind of a weird scene because I'm like, he's not there for like the birth of his grandchild. I would think that.
But
that's
what
typical,
if he is?
but-
They didn't show. Oh yeah, because he meets the baby for the first time later. So he was not there because he was busy birding.
They're all birding.
Sometimes it happens.
Which is Jack Black's cell phone ringtone in the movie.
Shut up.
Yeah.
The whole
Amazing.
thing. It gets annoying, but
It's a trope. And then Jack Black still has to kind of contend with his dad being kind of disappointed.
Mhm.
But also he's like calling and kind of having a phone friendship with Ellie, with Rashida Jones.
Oh
Cute.
yeah.
Well-
Can we get to the part where go ahead. What's up?
Yeah, well, that happens after. So the next major part they all come together is it, what's it called? Anu?
Yeah, it's like a nook or
Anu.
something like that.
Anu?
Maybe you're
What
probably
is
right.
that?
You're
Yeah,
probably
it's an island that's basically between Alaska and Japan. It's closer to Japan than it is Alaska, but you fly out of Alaska to it. And it's like
Neat.
at a certain, I think it's in June. It's like the perfect place for bird watchers. Like so many birds go to this island. So,
But it's a shitty place.
oh yeah.
Okay.
They're like, there's no bathrooms, there's no this, no that. They basically live in
It's
a
literally
like a
just
bunker.
land.
Yeah.
Oh, we're totally missing a bunch of stuff. I'm just realizing. Okay, previous to that, Stu and Brad like are and they see Kenny at one point. This is after they see a really rare bird. They see this rare bird.
Yeah.
I think the pinkfoot or whatever it's called.
Okay.
Or I don't know, something like that.
I guess
they
there's a lot of birds.
They go to dinner. They go to dinner together.
Oh my God, I love this scene. It was that was so improv, some of it. I was like, this
totally,
is cute. Like,
And basically it's showing one like Steve's like, no, get whatever you want on the menu. I'm paying for it because Jack Black's like, I'm poor. I'm just going to get the soup.
Because at this point, Jack Black's maxed out all of his credit cards, his mom's credit cards. He's like sort of going back to work to try to make up the money that he's losing. But he's like so gung ho on this like thing. That's the thing. That's Jack Black's theme is just like, or kidding. It's his thing like birds.
Yeah. And so they kind of have a heart to heart where like, Steve Martin, talks about these fears that he's had about retirement and watching birds and not living his life. And then Jack Black, this is when Jack Black reveals to Steve Martin that he's doing the big year. Like he's like, I'm doing the big year, but don't tell anyone. Like, don't let Kenny know. And Steve Martin is like, it's almost like he's going to tell Jack Black that he's also doing the big year, but he decides not to because, the whole thing is you don't want other people to know that you're doing the big year.
Yeah.
He like
now
withholds
he has
that
an
information.
advantage. Okay. Interesting.
Right. But then it's like, oh wait, but are they friends or are they just like what's happening here? And then as an audience member, you're like, wait, is Stu kind of being a jerk right now?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Is he trying to? Yeah. And then there is a scene where they are friends because like Stu like misses Brad at one point because he goes back to on that boat again. And he's like on the boat and he sees a guy who kind of looks like Jack Black holding a camera. And he's like, oh, Brad. And then the guy's like, huh? And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. And then he starts getting sick again. And then fucking, what's his name? Jim Parsons, Ichabod Crane, like sees his little journal. Like he literally looks into this man's personal fucking things.
Yeah.
But sees that he's got a number tally going on. So he's like, oh, looks like this old man's doing the big year. So he writes a blog about how the fact that like that this older gentleman that he met, and there's a picture of him, and Jack Black's reading it, smiling, and then he realizes that Stu's doing the big year and never told Jack Black, and he's like, oh, that feels like a betrayal.
Right.
You know,
he's like, fuck that guy. And then they go to Anklet, whatever, Alaska.
Anu,
yeah,
on a rickety old plane from Alaska.
Yeah, so creepy.
And Steve,
Steve Martin misses the plane because he was in New York on big business merger meetings, whatever he's doing over there.
Big business.
And he's like, literally like, I have to leave in 15 minutes to catch a flight to Alaska. And he's just late for his rickety old flight to this island. So he's running down the runway as the plane takes off. And everyone on there is terrified because it's literally like flying into the island, like shaking all over. But then Kenny, who's a seasoned pro, is just kind of like, great job, guys, like clapping the pilots after they land. He's totally confident. He is,
Fuck that guy. How dare you applaud the pilot of this rickety plane?
I know, right? So they land, and this island's shitty, just like they described it, and they have to like live in this bunker. And then I think I
it's
call
a bunker.
It literally is a bunker.
It's literally like a dorm room of like bunk beds, and everyone's just sleeping in one big room. And there's actually a couple on their honeymoon, and the one dude's a birder, and the his wife doesn't really know what birding is, and she's very disappointed.
Yeah, she's like this really pretty valley girl. She's like, we're in our honeymoon, and then they land, and she's like, oh my god, you suck. This is not that was dumb.
You tricked me.
Her scarf gets cleaned up.
We'll be happy.
Her scarf her scarf is like, some guy uses her scarf to clean fish guts off the table.
Yeah.
And she's like, that's my scarf. She runs outside to wash it, and then she gets attacked by birds because birds love fish guts.
Yeah. But there's a part in here where Kenny's the bad guy, right? That's Owen Wilson.
Brad.
Oh, Brad.
Yeah.
Gosh. Owen Wilson's character, Brad.
Brad is JB, baby.
Black. Oh, Brad Black. Stu and Kenny. Okay, here we go. So Kenny, they announce on the thing, and this old lady, like the one person who was on this island, I suppose, she's like, there's a sighting of this, that, and the other. And they're like, gotta go. And like the whole crowd of like bunk bed people in this bunker just run. They book it outside. And they're like, Kenny, are you coming? And he's like, well, I'll just hang back, you guys. Because that's how Owen Wilson talks, I guess.
Right.
And he's like, I'll hang back. And they go out and they like look for birds. And they go over, that's over here. No, it's over. It's this whole montage. Like, it's over here.
This whole time, again, remember, John Cleese is narrating this whole thing. Like he's like a main character because his voice comes in every like 5 minutes where he's just like, and the one thing he calls the three, he doesn't call them by their names. He calls Brad the programmer, Stu the CEO, and I believe he calls Kenny the king. Like they call the king.
Yeah.
Because he's the king of birding right now. But he's always just like, and the king has developed a technique in which he lets all the other people do his work for him. Like he does like all the grunt. He lets everyone else do the grunt work of looking for the bird. And then once the bird has settled in its location, he like pounces on it to see it.
I just realized that this whole thing is basically like, especially with that narration, it's basically like I was saying at the beginning, it's a National Geographic film of a bird watching movie, but they're the birds.
Exactly.
Hey, they're the birds.
I'm so surprised that this movie did not go the route of making like an unladen swallow joke with John Cleese as the narrator. But
what?
Like Monty Python?
That is a deep cut, my friend. Wow.
That's Holy Grail shit. That's like classic. Yeah.
Excuse me. All right.
I was
AKA
young
deep cut,
and
meaning
cut off limbs
I was
of
negative
the night
years
scared
old.
me.
All right. I mean, I
guess
the first time I watched it was in university. I was blown away by the fact that there was comedy like this in the 70s.
It's good. I watched it not that long ago. It's on Netflix. And I'm like, this is it's offensive sometimes, but it's kind of funny.
Oh, yeah.
So Kenny stays back like the jerky is, and Jack Black's like, well, I'm gonna go find this bird. So they go out, and then eventually they're like, the old lady comes back on the intercom thing and is like, actually, it's over here. And then that's when Kenny goes out because he's a seasoned birder.
Seasoned jerker.
Seasoned manipulator.
Well, that's
a different thing, my
friend.
He
only does it once a season. It's very sacred.
Yeah. So and then he goes to take a picture, but they're all running towards the bird. There's a scene, and it's funny because it seems so telegraphed, but Jack Black like goes to run and slips on the snow and falls because it's snowy on this island. Apparently that was
real.
Not supposed to happen.
I love him
and they
so
used
much.
that take anyway. So fun
That
fact,
baby.
fun big year fact.
Yeah.
Fun
I think they
big
spend
fly
some of the
fact.
Yeah. They spend some of the most time here on this island. That's why we're talking about it
Okay.
so much, because
Yeah.
it's like a point in the plot where all three of them are on the same island
Right.
and they're all like all their stories are coming together.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, because Stu eventually makes it to the island. But another moment on
Okay.
the plane ride to the island, Brad and Kenny are like sitting across from each other. And Brad, feeling very betrayed by Stu because he finds out Stu is also doing a big year, reveals to Kenny that like, oh, I hear Stu's doing the big year too. Which begs the question, I guess Kenny doesn't read Ichabod Crane's blog because at that point, everyone should know that.
Oh yeah.
Right.
You're right.
It's like, it's
Right,
weird. It was
right.
kind of weird
Yeah.
because he reveals it as if he's telling Stu's secret, but I was like, I didn't
Isn't
that
it like
dude?
public? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
public knowledge
Didn't
at this point.
Didn't Sheldon tell the whole world at that point? I don't know.
Hey, Big Bang Theory. Yeah. So he's mad. He's like,
Yeah.
yo, Stu, you're not a good friend. And he's like, Brad, I left you. Have you checked your messages? I left you a full confession 5 days ago. And he's like, you did? And he's like, I did. And he's like, well, I'm not so mad at you anymore,
I
kind
know.
of a thing.
Yeah,
Right?
it's a very brief conflict. It doesn't last very
Right,
long. It's just like, I'm mad at you. I'm sorry, but I did tell you in a message. Oh, okay, we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we good. We good.
Man, it's how it should be, you know?
Yeah.
Confront the issue, hear him out, be like, okay,
Mhm.
my mistake.
Exactly.
Right.
There you go.
Move
Yeah.
on.
It's
How
a
everything
good,
should be.
it's a good, you have to watch this. This film is like, it's all heart. I had a smile on the whole time.
It
It's
is.
so
Is
good.
this
It's
It's
so
a
on
fun
cute.
film.
Netflix?
Amazon Prime, where I watch it.
Okay, I can watch it then.
I don't know about Canada though.
Yeah, I will.
okay.
I will send it to you, a link.
Boom. There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
What happens after this?
So
Jeez.
they oh no, so this is actually when they watch the Eagles, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, sorry.
This is actually the
Insert
scene.
Eagle commentary.
Yeah, this is the scene where they watch the Eagles because they're watching them, and as they fall and the music is playing, basically Stu is like, I miss my wife. And then
Yeah,
and
that's
then
right.
Kenny's like, I miss Jessica. And then you're left with Jack Black there, has no one.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah. I want to
Sweet
be with
boy.
Rashida Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought you said prosciutto Jones at first, and I was like, yummy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Prosciutto.
That's
Jones.
Quincy's other daughter, Prosciutto Jones.
Rashida and prosciutto.
Yeah. So then, the other real big thing that happens here is that, Brad approaches Rashida and they talk a bit more. And she's like, oh, I hear you're like some sort of idiot savant.
Oh,
minus the idiot part. And he's all like, oh, I am an idiot with his like bird hearing ability. So she does all her bird voices. And then he like correctly guesses like all of them, and they have a little meet cute. And this is where they start having like a text / phone call friendship.
Oh yeah,
Right.
this little montage happens. And we're like, "What are you doing over here?" And they like talk on the phone all the time. Can I talk about what he finds out? Are we there yet? When he finds out about
Sure.
Rashida?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, yeah. It's like the texts back and forth, the phone calls and everything. You're like, oh my gosh, this is so cute. They're gonna end up together, blah, 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 blah. Right? And so then he's like, I'm gonna get on a plane because I just need to be in your town because birds. And she's like, oh, birds, I love birds. Come on over. We got birds. And so he hops on the plane and he's like, birds, 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 birds. And then they go outside and this dude pops out of the car and he's like, hey, Rashida Jones character, Ellie, I'm here to pick you up. And he's like, who's this? And she's like, this is my boyfriend. And I'm like,
Lame.
how did she not say that she had a boyfriend? Like, hello? Like, she's obviously leading him on. She knows what she's
Was
doing.
she?
I was like, Rashida.
Maybe they just have a friendship, Maybe Jack Black looked too much into it.
Honestly, it's hard. When, they say men and women can't be friends, but it happens. But it's honestly hard to navigate through that sometimes because you don't know
Sure.
how the other person's feeling. unless they say it. And then why? How presumptuous would it be for her to just be like, hey, I'm texting this person that has the same interests as me, and I'm just treating them as another human being with same interest. I should just tell them right off the bat, hey, by the way, I got a boyfriend. Is it wrong? Is it right? We don't know. We don't know. We can just.
You don't want to be like the thing though, where it's like you say you tweet one thing, it's like I have a boyfriend. It's like I just said
right.
hi.
Right. Exactly.
Well, you could work it in and be like, my boyfriend and I saw the snowy owl raven claw.
Yeah. You know, or you just or you call the dude, you call him dude, right? That was the whole thing. The girl called you dude. Apparently,
bro.
That was it. That was the end.
Bro,
dude,
bro.
Doesn't work.
That's like friend zone. Yeah,
doesn't work. But try it.
Hey, I have a lot of female friends, and my best friend is my partner. But
and again,
I
gross.
See Alenka every week.
Sure.
I see Alenka every week.
Yeah. I have mostly dude friends, but I do like, I mean, at the beginning of any like dude relationship, if it's not like obvious, I might be like, well, you know, me and my husband, we did this the other day. Just kind of sneak that in there.
You have
exactly.
to.
Just real quick. Yeah.
And if they're an adult, they'll be like, oh, great. We'll be friends.
Perfect. Yeah. They're not a fucking scumbag.
Exactly. So she has the boyfriend. He's a little bummed, but he's Jack Black's a good dude. He's not going to be like, I'm never talking to you again, bird lady. Also, during this he has a montage of like seeing bird scenes, and he does see a flamingo.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. He's like, literally like canoeing, or like he's in this like swampy area, and he sees the flamingo. He's like,
I want to see a flamingo.
Yeah. And then there's a major scene, very hard. It's scary.
Oh,
Jack Black gets a phone call.
Wait, before this, we have to talk about how Jack Black and Steve Martin buddy up, which leads up to the helicopter, and then he gets the phone call.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Steve Martin and Jack Black are like, you know what? We should just like do this together. And then they start like traveling, like doing the same travel plan, right?
Because who says you can't do it together?
At this point, right. Exactly. Because at this point, they reveal their numbers. It's like it's like September or October at this point.
Yeah.
And
Thanksgiving. Even.
Yeah. Steve. Yeah. Because they're on the trip together, and they're like they try to get on the boat, but they're like, it's Thanksgiving. I was like, and then Jack like, didn't your wife mention anything? She's like, she doesn't like to rub it in that I'm missing so many major holidays. So they forgot it was Thanksgiving. But they reveal each other's numbers at one point. So Steve Martin's like, I'm at like 7:15. The record's 7:32. And Jack Black's at like 7:20 something. And then they run into Kenny. Kenny asks Stu, well, what's your number at? And then Jack Black's like, how about 7:30? Like, so he's lying for Stu to make to like boost Stu up. Yeah. But then he's like not revealing his number. So Jack Black's actually the one who's like sneaking in to like take the title, and Stu's helping him. That's kind of the thing. Stu's like helping Jack Black at this point. He's almost like let go of the fact that he might not be the record, but he wants to help Jack Black be the winner.
That's cool.
Just to stick it to Bostic. You know?
Yeah. Fuck that guy.
Right. Yeah. Fuck that guy.
Yeah. So then, they decide to be like, well, we just partner up. Let's just like do this together. You know, we'll tell each other where the birds are and whatnot.
Yeah. And then, Angelica Houston comes back in and blah, blah, blah. They like, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And then he's like, hey, you know, Steve Martin, they're like sitting at a bar, and Steve Martin all of a sudden remembers he has money. And he's like, let's go do stuff. And
he remembers he has money. Yeah, exactly.
All of a sudden he's like, oh, let's stop fucking around. Let's get in a helicopter and go up there with the birds. So they do. They go in a helicopter, which was a really fun scene, because I think it was really in a helicopter where they really go close to the cliff. The driver, I don't know, or the driver of the helicopter.
Yeah, he went to driver's school.
For helicoptering.
He logged how many hours driving.
Yeah.
He's and so then they land, and they're like, oh my God, that was so much fun. We're BFFs. Oh my God. And then Jack Black gets the call, and then
it's revealed his dad had a heart attack. He's in the hospital, but he's fine. Like the next scene is him sitting up, like buttoning his shirt, and he's all he's all frustrated. He's like, oh, these doctors are doing too many tests. I want to go home. And so Jack Black like sits beside him and he has his camera and he's like, well, let me show you some of the birds I've, shot. And there's this, it's a really sweet moment because he's like scrolling through all these bird pictures and you can see his dad is like rolling his eyes, but then also like kind of seeing how
engaged
many shots. But then he stops on this one bird. I forget what the bird's called, but it's just
snowy.
No, it's not the snowy owl, but it's a gray. It's just this gray. It's this little bird that's gray. It doesn't look too interesting.
Chunky.
He's like, this is my favorite bird. And then
I love this
his dad's
part.
like, but it's not colorful or anything. Like, this is your favorite, this gray bird. And Jack Black's like, this bird flies from like Alaska all the way down to Argentina. It travels all of everywhere. It flies the most of any of these birds. It's seen so many amazing things, and it travels. It's so free, and so like cute. Jack Black's dad is looking at him like kind of with admiration at this point. Like he's really seeing what his son sees in this birding experience.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And then they spend time together, the dad and Jack Black, and they're like hanging out at the parents' home.
Yeah.
And then
so this is kind of a major event. So basically, also Kenny, Owen Wilson, has like a partner. He has like a friend who's helping him like find birds. And the friend phones him. So his wife is currently is she getting an ultrasound? What is she's at the hospital?
She's about to be injected with stuff.
Yeah. And like
more hormones.
Kenny should be there. And he's like trying to get to the hospital. He's getting there and he's at the door and his friend phones him. And he's like, there was a snowy gray owl out here, like, a flight away. And he's like, you got to hop on the next flight. And this bird will be yours.
Yeah.
And Kenny's like at a crossroads. He's like, am I gonna go and be with my wife who's trying to have a baby right now? Or am I just going to leave? And then he leaves. He doesn't go into the hospital. He's literally at the door, but he decides to hit a flight because he's got to go see.
And he makes up this bullshit excuse to his wife on the phone, like, "Oh my god, I tried to make it, but I couldn't make it."
Interesting.
And she's like, "Fuck."
Yeah, she knows.
She knows.
But Steve Martin's character hears about this owl, and he phones Jack Black's house, and his dad picks up the phone, and then they have a little moment where he's like, "Well, you got quite a kid there," and Brian Dennehy's all like, "Yeah, I guess I do." And he's like, "I've heard a lot about you, Stu." He's like, "I've heard a lot about you." He's like, "Can you tell Brad that there's a snowy owl in your backwoods? Like it's literally in his neighborhood." Like, so he's like, so he can go look for it. And so, Brian Dennehy, Jack Black's dad, gets his jacket on. He's like, "Hey, Brad, we got to go. We got to look at this bird. I want to look at this bird out back." It's a really nice moment. And so they're wandering through the forest. And of course, like they got this oxygen tank because he's now on oxygen, the dad. And of course, at this moment where the dad's like,
from a heart
you go
attack?
ahead. I want you to go see the bird. You need to see the bird. I'm going to slow you down. So he's going to search for the bird. And then Jack Black's like, "What am I doing? Why did I just leave him?" And he runs back. And there's a moment where you think that he's having a heart attack. You think
the dad.
Is. Yeah. But then he runs over and the dad's like, "Shh." And then they all look up and they see the snowy gray owl. And they like hug and high five. And it's a beautiful father-son moment.
But if he didn't listen to his gut to go back, like,
I know.
Interesting.
To save his, because to save his father, because then it's a juxtaposition of Kenny leaves his wife to go find this particular owl. And Kenny leaves that to go to his family, to his dad, because he realized like his dad is clearly more important to him. And why did he leave him?
Love it.
Yeah.
So sweet. And then it's like, this more plinky plonky music, and we start taking us out to the end of the year. They start wrapping things up, putting bows on things.
But so there's a moment where like Jessica, Kenny's wife, is back home and she's kind of like crying because Kenny didn't show up to the appointment. And the son, the contractor's son, is like, "Mrs. Bostic, are you okay?" And hands her like a handkerchief, I think. And you're like, "Oh, is this what's going to happen? Yeah. Is this actually going to happen?"
Yeah.
And then it cuts, and like there's a point where Kenny comes home and she's in bed and she's like, "Oh, is that you?" I don't know what the dude's name is. The son.
Flippy flapper flello. Yeah.
And he's like, "No, it's Kenny. It's your husband or whatever." But it's not what's not what you think it is.
It's not what you think it is, Alenka. It's not what you think it is.
The father and the son contracting business, they took like pity on her and they wanted to bring her to a baseball game like that morning. And because they're working on the house, they have access to the house like this whole time. So she just thought it was him, like, getting her up because they wanted an early start to go to the game. So it's kind of revealed that she's like, she's in love with Kenny. She's not going to cheat. Like, she loves Kenny, but she can't be married to him. She can't, if he's going to put birding ahead of her.
Yeah. And she's like,
good for her.
Bye, boo.
Yeah.
See you never.
It's done.
Yeah.
Had your chance, bruh.
Yeah.
It's tough, baby. Good job.
It is. And so there's this scene. It's kind of a montagey scene. Steve Martin in a fucking beautiful house. They have this beautiful giant cabin mansion in the woods.
Colorado or something. Yeah.
They have like this amazing Christmas party. Like, they're having Christmas. Jack Black is with his parents. They're sleeping on the couch on TV and the countdown, like New Year's countdown.
And then Kenny's in the woods.
Yeah.
He's
by
taking
himself.
pictures. Yeah.
And he goes to a Chinese restaurant on Christmas Eve. And then he just like sits down with the two employees there. Yeah. Talks birds with them.
Birds. They're like, why are you alone, bro?
Yeah.
But Kenny, on New Year's Eve, Kenny gets a phone call from Rashida Jones.
Okay.
Yeah.
And something's
she's
revealed.
Like,
she goes.
Literally,
that is,
right?
Yeah. And he goes, oh, that's the common crow. You got to, be better than that or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Like take it up a level. Yeah. And I love that part, though, when she gets on the phone and they're talking and she's like, me and Shma, we broke up. And he does this he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Or no, he doesn't say anything. He just does this dance.
Yeah.
And then he goes, oh, I'm so sorry. And she's like, just do a victory dance. Stop.
No.
Yeah. He's
really?
like, no.
She just
did
called
you do
him
a
out?
victory celebration? He's like, it's more of a dance. And like, but it's nice because it's like they both really, like, she knows, which again, I guess she's not leading him on, but like, obviously she knows that he was into her and she's into him in that way too. So yeah, so we know the blossoming relationship.
Okay. The blossoming relationship. Yeah. And then the results come in.
Yeah. Okay. So it's now been a year. Birding's done.
How are the results like put out there?
Into like a magazine, a birding magazine.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And who's first?
JB
is No.
Kenny.
Yes.
Kenny got first place.
But second is
JB. Yeah.
What are the
numbers?
numbers?
Kenny broke his previous record. I think he got 750 something, and JB got like 742 or something like that.
Sick.
And Stu got fourth place actually.
Cool.
And they're on the phone with each other, Brad and Stu. But Brad, and this is kind of the whole point of the movie, the whole thesis of the movie. Brad's like, he's like, you know what though, we did win, Stu. We won all of it. We won our lives. Like we have what's important to us. Whereas Kenny is kind of like, he just has birding now, and that's all he cares about.
But then Kenny goes to China, and then he has reflective moments.
That's true.
For him.
Does he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
End.
Yeah.
That's I think that's at the Huntington Library that was here. I think I've been there. They have this Japanese garden, but
he has a reflective moment where he sees like a couple with a newborn baby.
Yeah, and then John Cleese comes over. Yeah, and then John Cleese comes over and he's like, what does he say? He says he realizes what the cost he paid to have that title.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, like fuck, get it once and be happy with that, and then move on with your life. Like it's a year of your life. You did it. Do other
for Kenny,
things
it's
now.
Multiple years. It's like every year he had to bird because he couldn't let go of the title.
Yeah, well, grow up.
Right. Grow up. That's it. Would you watch it, Alenka? Does that sound like something you'd watch?
I want to watch it. I didn't know. I want to see the birds. Birds are like fucking weird though. And it's like one of those animals. Okay, but it's one of those animals that you like forget about. Does that make sense?
It's kind of true. Yeah.
Yeah, like unless you see like an exceptionally colorful one or something.
Yeah.
You're like,
You
oh,
kinda
look,
just like, oh.
whatever. But yeah, for the most part, kind of
Birds,
just
man.
forget about them. So I'd be
Yeah.
interested to see all the different types of birds and be like, that's neat. That's cool.
Yeah.
I just like watching National
the
Geographic.
credits literally list the 755 birds
Stop.
that,
With the
Kenny
pictures.
saw with the pictures. Just
I also want to see the flamingo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's one flamingo, I think.
There's no blue flamingos though. There's
No, they don't
Right,
exist.
because those
I already
don't
said that.
exist.
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah. You're welcome. Fuck.
Flamingos are not blue.
Bring it up at a dinner party.
That's a fact.
Full circle. This conversation has come.
Yeah.
There are black ones.
Yeah.
There are black. I gotta look it up.
Yeah. Alenka,
Talk to me.
I guess how many trilbies do you give this movie?
Ew. I have such bad memories of trilbies because the skeeziest, like, type of, like, people wore that in high school.
Yeah, it's true.
I wore some
But-
trilbies in my time.
Yeah,
Were you
and that's
skeevy in high
I probably
upsetting to
was
hear.
skeevy. I probably was.
Really upsetting to hear, Will.
Theater kids wore it a lot.
I know.
Right?
Like,
Yeah.
fucking
Like a-
gross.
very,
yeah.
like,
Ugh.
Fred Astaire.
Oh,
kinda,
I wore some. I wore some at some dances in university and some like formals. Yeah,
No.
it's bad. It's bad.
Yikes.
news.
Oof.
Okay, here's what I do. I give,
Okay.
I give imagine Will, but instead of his beard, he shaved off like the mustache and most of the beard
Oh.
except for the line that would carve out
Yes.
exactly where
The very
his jaw would be.
thin-
That's right.
Yeah.
Thin, just the jawline.
Oh, geez.
That's Will.
Okay.
Imagine that, Will.
Thank you.
He
Yeah.
also has his long black hair in a sleek ponytail. And he's got his trilby
Would never happen.
on his head, slightly tilted over just the left eye.
Right. He just looks at
And,
everybody
and
like
all
this.
he's doing is he's reaching his hand out to you and saying, Madame,
Yeah.
I
Hey.
give you one
To
of
everyone.
those.
We don't kink shame on this podcast. That's got to be
I'm
someone's
not kink
thing. you know?
shaming. Absolutely. I'm just saying
Amen.
that's my rating.
All right.
Oh.
Me with an impossible ponytail because my hair does not do that. It goes
Out.
yes.
Like a, yeah.
You
okay.
could slick
Yeah.
that back.
I could slick it back probably enough.
Yeah.
I
you
in
could
high
do it.
school for a play because I was in drama, wearing a
Of course.
trilby.
Mhm.
I did straighten my hair,
Oh,
and,
yuck.
there were so many girls who were like, "You could straighten your hair. You'd look pretty good." And I was like, "I'm not
No.
straightening my hair every
Fuck
day.
those
That's not-
dumb
I'm the
bitches
type
that
of
say
person
that.
I'd get a short haircut because I don't want to do anything with my
Will,
hair."
That's why I cut my hair off. Yes.
curly hair though, wavy hair with some texture, always looks better than straight hair.
That's
Just
true.
does.
Got some fun
Mm.
going on
Yeah.
there.
Not when
We
you're
do have
like,
to
well,
work
not when
less.
you're a little chubby kid with like, that curly fro.
Fro.
It's I was like, I
Sorry.
was like Jonah Hill, and in the phase
Yeah.
where you made
What's
fun
wrong
of him.
with Jonah Hill?
Sure. We
Like
don't
the-
Jonah
the-
Hill
what's the-
shame Will on this
Yeah, I know.
podcast.
We don't
Uh-huh.
Jonah Hill shame.
Jonah Will over there.
Yeah, Jonah Will.
What's
Jonah
up?
Will, baby.
Baby.
Puns have been solid.
Yeah, they have been.
But yeah, I'd be interested in seeing this because I like the National Geographic. And
Yeah.
I love fucking Jack Black, baby.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
How could
So
you
I'd check it
not?
out. If Will will send it
Everyone
to me.
loves him.
If he remembers. He does a
I'll
lot
send
for
it
this
to you.
podcast, but on occasion he forgets to send me the movies, and that's probably
I-
his biggest fault.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's right. It's my fault that I don't illegally peer-to-peer share you with the films
Yeah.
Share
Like,
you.
grow
that are
up,
not on
Will.
Canadian Netflix.
I'll check Prime
You
first.
guys have a Canadian Netflix?
Yeah, we have
It's
shit
like
here.
like it.
Well, yeah, Netflix on Canada and the
Don't
US
even-
sometimes differ. The same with like the UK.
It's
There's different
like,
titles
why?
on different Netflix sometimes.
because
Could you log into like my Netflix and see it over there?
I don't know, there used
With
to be a way to
VPN.
change the IP
Yeah,
or whatever.
You can hack
Yeah.
I don't
it.
know.
You can
Yeah.
hack into America.
Hacker
Right.
Man.
Hackers out there,
Jack
send
Hack.
me.
Okay.
Oh,
Jack Hack. Where is Jack Black? If you're listening, we have so
JB.
many names for you for
I really-
different characters.
I
I
sometimes
want to hug
fantasize
him.
about like a famous
wanna
person
pinch
who
his
listens to
cheeks.
regularly to this
Can you
podcast.
imagine?
Uh,
Yes, that doesn't will never
it'd
like
be
the
JB.
most random one.
Yeah, it would be Jack Black. Yeah,
It would be Jack Black. Yeah.
Yeah.
Please, Jack, I love you.
No, it's like Clive Owen. It's like,
Yeah.
it's just, you're like, oh, great. Come
He'd
on,
like
we'll do
email
Children of
us.
Men.
He would like email us. He'd be like, I'm Clive Owen. And guess what? I listen to your podcast. And I'd be like, I don't know who you are.
Who?
What?
Oh, you.
What movies?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah. Well, Tess,
Hey.
thank you so much for coming back on.
Anytime,
Thank
my
you
friend.
for
Anytime.
coming back
That was. I always have fun with y'all.
Yeah. Well, definitely back for Jack Black month, JB month.
Yes, that's happening.
JB
Oh my God.
Smooth August.
Please
I'm gonna
tell me
piss my
when,
pants.
bro. Let's do it.
Yeah, I know. That's not
Yeah.
too long from now. So
Augie.
I got to get it prepped and get
He'll be
it
back
going.
soon, actually. Yeah.
Can't wait. Can't
Yeah.
wait.
I feel like
Hell
Alinka's
yeah.
seen quite a few Jack
I know.
Black
I was
movies,
just thinking,
though.
I have to go through the JBs I haven't seen.
Yeah, we do.
Wait,
we do.
what is there? What is there left? He hasn't been in a shit ton. He's been in the polka one that I haven't seen either.
Oh,
but
I've seen it.
Have you seen it?
Yeah. The Polka King.
Tenacious D.
Seen
Yeah,
Tenacious D, seen
King.
Polka King, sing High Fidelity, sing Nacho Libre.
Tropic
Nacho Libre.
Thunder.
Hey.
I have seen it, but I don't really remember anything except for except for what's his nuts in blackface, which is fucking weird.
Robert Downey,
Who was
Iron Man.
nominated for an Oscar that year.
Oh
That's
gosh, I did not
weird.
realize that.
that is a forgotten time, I
That's
guess.
weird.
It was the same year
I
Heath
guess.
Ledger and Heath Ledger won for posthumously.
Thank
But-
God.
I have a question. Could we, this is your podcast, obviously not mine, but could we change it up where, like, if Will didn't see a movie, we could explain it to Will?
Oh,
Does it work that way?
interesting.
That might be we could do a
can do
special
that,
episode.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay.
I suck
'Cause then-
at telling stories, but buckle up, babies.
We should do a switch up.
Then I'll get
Switch it
drunk.
up, man.
I need you
Buck
to
it up,
do
buck it
the
up,
work
buck it up.
here, Alenka.
Yeah. I can do this. Yeah.
You get your notes up.
I have seen a lot of movies, so it might be hard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you seen High
But then
Fidelity?
again, I did not see this movie. I watched it for this podcast. So maybe we'll pick a movie I haven't seen. Alenka has to watch it.
I got this. I can do this.
There you go. There you go.
You got this.
Got it.
I believe in you.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on. But where
Yes.
can people listen to you? Where can we find you?
You
Tell us
can
the deets.
listen to me. If you like comic books, come on over to OCD Podcast on Instagram. And then if you want to learn how to roller skate, I actually have a roller skating YouTube channel.
That's right.
I've skated for a very long time. It's called Skate with Tess on YouTube. And if you just want to nerd out with me and follow my weird, wacky adventures or my awesome dance moves, check out Lady
yeah.
Mary Tess on Instagram as well. Yeah.
Awesome. Nice. Yes. Follow all of that.
Yes.
The skate lessons are great.
Yes.
I got to pull out my rollerblades. I've literally, like, since you started that channel, and then another friend of the podcast started roller skating as well, and I put her onto your channel to watch.
Bitch.
Oh, nice.
I was like, I really got to get my rollerblades out, but
Yeah,
I'm
man.
scared because they're the hockey skate type that have no brake.
Yeah.
They have no stopper. So I'm like,
you-
how do I stop?
I'll teach you. I'll teach
Okay.
you.
Yeah,
Oh,
Tess is
okay.
a goddess.
Yeah, no.
I truly, on like roller skating, you guys, those of you that aren't doing it, you don't understand how hard it truly is. So like having a resource like Tess is honestly like makes life so much easier. Even if you think you know,
Oh,
you don't
Yeah.
fucking know.
it's Will. I always say it's wheels on your feet. It's fucking weird. And you
Yeah.
just got to
Super
take your
weird.
time.
I am an
it's so-
excellent ice skater. I
Uh-huh.
feel like a
Mhm.
rollerblader will not be. I will not be the same.
It will translate over in ways that you won't even realize. You're like,
Well,
oh shit, I
your
can do that
booty is going to
magically.
be popping soon.
Oh, nice. Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I need. It's a little flat right now. I need to change it up. I need to get some of those Botox injections, just like
No.
Rosamund Pike in the movie.
Hey,
Oh.
hey,
Bring it back. Well done.
bringing it back, bringing it back.
Yeah.
Love it.
Well, if you want to inject us into your social stream,
So good.
you can
Will.
follow us at Haven't Seen a Podcast on Instagram and Facebook, and haven't_seen_it on Twitter. You can also go to our website, haven'tseenapodcast.com. There's the big list of movies, And if you go on that website, I've changed the header to read Canadian Podcast Award nominee, because that's right, we are a Canadian Podcast Award nominee.
Yeah,
we're still waiting.
I mean, we are. Zach, our composer,
Zach
is. And actually, I've added him to the website. There's an about section. Read his bio.
Nice. That's so nice.
And follow his stuff. But yeah, we don't know if we've won yet at this point. So let's keep those fingers crossed. Best original theme song, y'all.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like it.
Nice.
I think it's cute.
And speaking of Canadian Podcast Award nominees, are some other podcasts on our network, the Dr. DC podcast and Ghostfacers, both hosted and run by the same people, are nominated for Best Leisure Podcast, Best Arts Podcast, and Best Comedy Podcast.
They don't know.
They're literally 1/3 of the category for Best Comedy. So fingers crossed they win.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Bunch of winners up in here.
And leave us a review on iTunes.
Yeah.
Looking for those reviews sometimes. And,
it's always just like trolling for reviews.
I'm just begging. I'm just on my knees.
Yeah.
Jack
5
Black,
stars.
please review. Or no, Clive Owen, please review the podcast.
Yeah. Who are you? Leave us 5 stars. I don't know. Yeah. And you guys, on that note, I say wear your fedora proudly, do whatever weird fucking hobby you have, and live your life to the utmost. But remember, family is sometimes good. And also sometimes so is bird watching. I don't know where I went. I got trapped in my head about tragedy. And here we are. Guys, good night.